Welcome to Heather Ewing, the CRE Rundown. And like no other podcast, I have a really special guest today. It is none other than Julius from Lithuania. Julius, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thanks, Heather, for having me.
Definitely. The reason I wanted to have you on is we connected through LinkedIn and I am going to be working with you. Is you have just an incredible way of rebranding and really highlighting people's strengths, their missions, and how they tie things all together. So that's why I had to have you on and share with our audience a little bit more about yourself so that they can really get to know you.
Sure. Thank you for the kind words and the introduction. So, to begin with, what I really have to say is that I've been doing content marketing, sales, and everything related to sales funnel optimization for the last 8 years. My journey began from video content. I've done a lot of video related work. I've been in the e-commerce space, and it was like a journey that I've put myself through. Currently, right now, I am building my own business for the last 3 years almost, where I help mostly real estate professionals to, again, systemize their overall sales funnel while creating relevant traffic through their personal brand. So there's a lot more to it, but I think we'll leave that for a bit later. But that's the whole recap or rundown that you probably need to know about me.
Definitely. So let's back it up. How did you get into this arena? Obviously, you're a very creative person. I love that you're really able to pick up on people's ideals, their style, right? Because that's artistry all on its own. So, where did you get your start? What was the impromptu that pulled you into this arena?
Yeah, so would you like me to begin from the very beginning, or would you like for me to go from a specific uh, touch point, in my career?
Maybe the part that really speaks to your heart.
Beautiful. Okay. So that particular transition happened 3 years ago, and then I decided to do things on my own. So I would say that it was a desire to have more in life, and first of all, to have something that aligns with myself and with the things that I do wanted to achieve. And at the beginning, it was pure chaos. I was good at a couple of main skills as content, but I was not so perfect with the other things when it comes down to entrepreneurship, just in general. So at the end of the day, while going through all of those 3 years of entrepreneurship, I can say that at the end of the day, a lot of the answers are in the basics. And what do I mean by that? Is that if something's not working or you feel not satisfied about what you see, perhaps something's not clear or not there in the fundamentals again. And it's always something that I'm coming back to, the fundamentals, because we do have so many different tools to turn our passion, to turn our aspirations into reality. LinkedIn personal branding, we have other social media, we have commenting, outreach, podcasts, like a lot of different tools. But just to make that work, you really have to have clarity for yourself. What is really something that you need to serve your purpose? So it's just something that always, led me forward, and I'm keep coming back to it. So it's a good reminder.
Yeah. And you really hit on something important, the basics. People
Yeah,
never want to focus on them, right? They're really not
yeah.
as exciting. They're not the new flashy gizmo that everyone's into and it's like the new diversion. And that's something I found too within business of the basics are the bread and the butter and it's doing them consistently and also not getting bored with them,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So what do you do so that they don't become boring and mundane, right? Because so much of branding is the clarity
Yeah.
and it's identifying that. What's a tool for identifying some of those basic blocks and not getting bored?
That's a really good question, which requires a whole an hour-long session probably. But just to give you an easy, direct, and tangible answer, don't forget to have fun. And every single one of us, we have our own definition of fun. For me, I really like talking to people, but like genuinely, being curious about the things that they do and something that aligns with my personal passion. So, for example, I'm really big into investing myself. I'm really big into sports. I'm really big into traveling, culture, geography in general. And these are, the additional topics that you can start the potential conversation upon and just, connect with your people because the end goal to work with somebody or to grow a business and have this business relationship with somebody, it's an end goal perhaps from the whole sequence of many different actions. So but just for you to get there are some things that that you need to create in order to to make this partnership work. So you need to to connect with people, and the best way to go about it is to have fun. And if we talk about just in general about the fundamentals and doing them consistently and just to ensure that you do not get bored of it. So it's really custom and it's really difficult for me to give something specific, but I'll use my own case in here. So I think that I'm a creative person, and
You
what
definitely
really
are.
what really helps me to keep myself excited about everything that I do, to let my creative parts shine. And I even have this small sessions at the beginning of the day where I just, put my notebook and I write things down, like physically by hand. I have, some journaling at the end of the day. I do have, some um habits that are, working, that are all about working on myself. Because, at the end of the day, business, relationships, LinkedIn, branding, everything is tied in with mindset. And, if you can be clear over here and if you can, be aligned with your inner energy as well, everything else will, start making more sense as well. So I know there's a lot more to talk about it, but I'll probably just stop there and would be curious to hear what are your thoughts on it.
Definitely. I think alignment is key, and it's interesting because I think there's different topics that float around at different times. And
Yeah,
you hear a lot about interest rates and all of this. And I think mindset is huge because what I said, even if you back it up to COVID and then forward, is I used to call it taking a temperature check, where you check in and people were either had money that they had to offload or it was the complete opposite. So depending on who you connected with, it was really helping them advance one step forward at least. And whether it was providing resources, maybe it was PPP back then, or
yeah,
providing a great property that wasn't on the market. Alignment is key. And that's the big buzzword, I think, lately as well. But I think similar to what you've been saying is when I reflect on my own journey of getting to commercial real estate, it really was getting to know who I am, what I am not, and aligning with that. And to your point, Julius, people can feel that. They can feel if this is genuinely who you are or if you're just really trying. And that's why I think, too, like the whole fake it till you make it, I really dislike that term. To me, I would love to have that rebranded of, begin stepping into the energy of what
yeah.
you want and how you want to serve and the types of people because I think more now than ever too is that honesty and your word is everything. And I think as people understand those base fundamentals of life, they're gonna have a lot more traction and also feel a lot better in their day-to-day life.
I
And
can
that's
only
why I
agree
like
with
your
you.
work
Yeah.
because you help people do that, right?
Yeah, I can, like I mentioned, I can only agree with you. One thing that I really want to highlight here as well, um, what is really something that we need to know and probably to remind ourselves constantly that embracing yourself um as this complex creature of a lot of really exciting things that helps you to lead everything that you do. and even, start creating the recognition in other people's heads about yourself because of the things that you also share, the things that you do, your aspirations, your vision, your thoughts, the things that do, light you up, that excite you. For example, I think what is really, really nice for me to remember about you, for example, uh, it is running. So, I didn't see a lot of people in real estate who runs. And that's exactly something that, somebody, not only me, but probably a lot of other people that create in their heads. This is, the woman in real estate who runs. And it's also really helping, to build this solid foundation and just, to take it from there as well. So just that
Right.
additionally.
Well, and it makes it fun. To your point, I think people
Exactly.
end up focusing so diligently on metrics, not that they aren't important. We only measure what's important,
Yeah.
but having that fun side and sharing a side that people may not know as well. And to your point, when I travel in different states and things like that for different events, they'll be like, "Oh, you're the runner." I'm like, "Yes, I am." And of course, I always offer, if people want a training plan, if they want coaches, I can connect them in all different ways, far beyond commercial real estate. But what would you say is a nice way for people? Let's say they have, you know, they're an Xterra racer or they're the Ironman, or maybe they love knitting or working on cars, right? How do you start to weave that together in a professional manner, right? I think that's why so many people keep it on the backside and people don't know about it unless they know them really well.
Yeah,
What's maybe one tip to slowly start to bring that into the frame?
that's a really good one. Um, what is really important to know that you have to dig a little bit deeper, just the surface level, and just to understand like what are these things important to you. And for example, what does the whole concept of running mean to you? Not just, to reach a point A from, from the start. So just even, playing with the words, the way you express it, and just, connecting the dots could, start making a lot more sense just by simply, speaking your mind. And to give you an example, so I work with this really wonderful woman. She is a pharmacist and she also operates in real estate. So the term that we use with her, prescribing uh, passive income opportunities for healthcare professionals. So,
Love it.
you're playing with the words based
Yeah.
on the things that you do and the things that are passion, that mean passion for you, just to make sense with the main thing that you do as well. So I would say that would be the case.
That's a perfect example. I love it. So now, between all your travels, all of the branding, all of that, how do you de-stress? That's
Is
a tough
that
one, right?
is that possible?
Of course.
No, I'm
Of
joking
course.
around. I'm joking
I
around.
know.
What is a really big thing in my life? It's sports. Like I've been doing sports as much as I remember myself. So I do daily walking. I do workouts at least 3, 4 times a week and different types of workouts. I really find it really really relaxing and really, just letting go of my emotions. As well as this is one thing that I also do and I really like it. So every single week I have one lunch with completely new person. And what really helps me is to take myself to new place to socialize and to also meet somebody that could bring me new perspective, or I can also take a look at things, from completely different point of view as well. And obviously, these are the people, that are relevant to the things that I do as well. And a combination between these couple of different things, it really helps me to refresh my mind. And one of the last things that I need to mention is journaling. So it really became really big thing in my life, I would say, in the last couple of months because it's something I've never done properly, but through different exercises like gratitudes, answering a couple of different questions for myself, it is really just clarifying. And it's actually something that I'm talking a lot with my mentors as well. Whenever there's a fog in your head, usually the easiest way to solve it is to start writing, to speaking your mind and just, explaining to yourself what is going on, you know? So I'd say these are the main couple of things.
Kind of like a brain dump, right? And I think if you allow yourself to just, like you say, just start writing, like
Yeah.
you do find the answer, it seems like quite frequently, or I'm sure you've noticed this in talking to clients too, of they have their answer, they just spoke it, even though they may not have, like, it hasn't registered at a deeper level. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's right there.
Exactly.
But to your point,
Exactly.
I think paper or talking with someone does give that layer of distance that does help to shine the light and makes it clear for you, which it's like the best feeling, right?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. My biggest question, and this is always the final one, is what does living fully mean to you, Julius?
I
It's the
think it's
big one.
something I think it's something I'm always, rediscovering constantly because like I've mentioned, journaling has become a really massive thing in my life in the last couple of months. And it was like, how did I, did not discover this earlier, Um, so there are some certain things in my life that I'm always, finding or rediscovering, that keeps me fulfilled, so per se. But at the end of the day, if you have to define it, I would describe it as three main things: being always curious, and always moving. And I'm not only saying that you always have to work, but just, moving your body, talking, exploring, being curious, again, coming to the first one. And last but not least, focusing on one thing at a time. Because it can really easy become overwhelming and really become stressing with, the current world that we live in with a lot of noise, a lot of distractions. It's really essential for you to focus on the right things. So just to recap, being curious. What was the second one? Being curious. Can you help me? What was the second one?
Movement.
Movement. And then the third one, it's focusing one thing at a time. So that would be it.
That's excellent. Well, Julius, thank you so much for joining me today, and share with our audience how can people connect with you so you can help them find that clarity and move their branding and careers and lives forward.
First of all, thank you for having me today. It's a pure
Of
pleasure.
course.
And second of all, so you can find me on LinkedIn. I would say I'm the most active over there. So Julius, really difficult last name, Julius Bieliauskas, but the guy in the red background and a lot of red in the profile, and I'll be more than happy to have a chat.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Julius. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.